gazing at a bird in flight, soaring through the air, lying down beneath the stars. I feel your presence there. I stand at ocean shore and feel the thundering breakers roar. To walk through golden fields of rain, beneath endless blue horizons spread. Listening to a river run, watering the earth, fragrance of a rose in bloom, a newborn's cry at birth. How could I say there is no God when all around creation calls? A singing bird, a mighty tree, the vast expanse of open sea. As I stand at ocean shore and feel the thundering breakers roar, to walk through golden fields of rain, beneath endless blue horizons spread. I like a child. I believe.
Just like a child. You have to believe just like a child. Sometimes we learn new things in the Word of God. And when we do, we realize that we didn't know as much as we thought we knew.
Right.
And sometimes some things you have to realize you have to become like a little child and kind of learn it all over again. And I see our daughter Abigail is watching. She says, "Love you, Mom and Dad. Keep spreading the truth." Thank you, Abigail.
Yes.
And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years."
So it says in bed, "Let there be light, expanse of heavens to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years." What we're wanting to point out today is it says the expanse. You know, we thought that the earth revolved around the sun. Is that right, Vernon? Or how does that go?
Right. It taught us since we were old enough to know what the difference is, that the earth went around the sun in rotation. And I'm sure the confusion that brings that about, they tell you and you have to believe what they say instead of reading the Bible and finding out. And with that, you hear that all your life. And even my daughter said different, and I just could not believe that it was any different than I was pushed to learn in school.
Right. We learned this since we were in school, and I'm sure a lot of you have too. Learned that, you know, the way they taught it in school was that the earth is on this axis and the earth spins, and about gravity and about, the solar system and other places and things like that, and that the earth is spinning and it's in, did it say it's in space or?
Right, spinning in space around the sun.
And the Bible doesn't say any of that.
No.
If you really read it in Genesis chapter 1, go read Genesis chapter 1. It doesn't say any of that. It talks about how God put two lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night. And a little later in the verse, we might cover that eventually. It says he set it there. And it says that he set it there for light upon the earth. It doesn't say anything about space. It doesn't say anything about, the earth spinning on an axis, or the earth going around the sun. In fact, when you look it up in Aramaic, it actually talks about the sun and the moon and stuff. How did that say that earlier, Vernon, when I read it? It actually either revolves or
Right, it goes around.
kind of, goes around the
Yeah.
earth. It's not like they taught us in school. And I'm sure some of you are going to be familiar with this, and some of you are not. Some of you are probably going to be like, oh, that's crazy. I can't believe that.
And it talks about the arch, the dome that goes around the earth, that the sun and the moon travel around.
Right.
When you hear this,
You can go ahead and talk, Brian.
when you hear this all about this, it's really hard to believe it's all about it, because they always try to make sense of whatever they're saying. Oh, yeah. It's not good.
That's right.
The more you think about the
So
truth,
true.
it shows more and more how God is in control. And something I found out, and believed this since I was a kid, that they went to the moon. You're gonna say, "Oh, he's crazy." They didn't go to the moon. You can't leave here. It's a dome. It's a dome.
So they lied to us, y'all. They've been lying to us since we've been in school.
And they have taken money for all this NASA and these rockets and things they build, saying they're going to do this and that and go to planets. Elon Musk said he's going to go to Mars. Nobody's going anywhere. God's going to
That's
judge
right.
everybody here. It's all going to be done. Court's going to be here in Judgment Day. It's not going to be on Mars or some planet. No.
That's right. So I pulled up, the Aramaic, and I pulled up what it says about the firmament, because that's what we're doing the video on this time, is about the firmament, because that's what God called it. So in Aramaic, the words for lights in the firmament of the heaven, often translated from the Aramaic Peshitta as Nehar, in the Rakia, however you say that, refer to celestial light bearers or illuminators meant to govern time, mark sacred seasons, and separate day from night. So in Genesis 1:14 it says, "And God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years." So it says, "And God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of heaven." So when you look up firmament in Aramaic, it says the key terms in Aramaic break down as follows: the lights, derived from the root NHR. This signifies illumination or light giving. In Genesis 1:14, it refers specifically to the sun, moon, and stars. Rather than just emitting brightness, these bodies act as the functional tools to illuminate the earth. The firmament, translated into Aramaic from the Hebrew, it signifies an expanse, an open sky, or a vast celestial vault. It represents the space where the celestial bodies are placed to divide the waters above from the waters below. These lights serve a practical cosmological purpose. Signs, markers used for divine navigation or indicators of sacred times. Seasons, appointed times, including agricultural cycles and sacred religious festivals. So let's see here. Compare the Aramaic with the original Hebrew or Greek texts. Break down the roots of the words for sun, moon, and stars. So, firmament really means an expanse. And whenever you look up expanse, let me get my phone real quick, and I'm gonna look that up.
It talks about hammered.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up real quick for expanse because
the idea of a hammered,
we looked it up a while ago.
a hammered ceiling or shape around, which is the arch. A thin layer, a hammered layer. But you read it already while
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is not what we thought.
They give everybody the idea that, we can get out of here, we can go to another planet, we can escape somehow, or whatever their idea is, but it's not going to happen. It makes you think that everything is done with God's control, when nobody goes anywhere, like it really is.
Now, I'm going to read what I looked up a while ago, and y'all can look this up, in Aramaic. What I typed in was in Genesis 1:14, where it says, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven." What does it mean in Aramaic? That is what I typed in. And this is what came up. In Aramaic, Genesis 1:14 means that God established luminous bodies in the sky to act as a cosmic clock. These celestial lights, stars, moon, sun, were assigned to govern time and space, setting a precise, observable calendar for days, years, and sacred festivals. The Aramaic translation of key terms from the verse provides a richer understanding of the passage. Lights, derived from the root NHR, this refers to the physical light givers or luminaries such as the sun, moon, and stars. Firmament, the Aramaic word, shares the same root as the Hebrew, which means to spread out, stamp, or hammer out. Rather than a solid dome, it refers to the vast, stretched out expanse of the atmosphere or space. Heaven, this refers to the sky or the wider cosmos. Signs, celestial indicators used by God to display his power, mark historical events, or act as omens. Seasons, appointed times. Aramaic, this refers to specific fixed festival seasons, holidays, and natural seasons needed for human life and agriculture. Which we know that we don't celebrate pagan holidays.
Right. It's God's days that He
Right.
chooses.
It's
for
His special days.
holy days.
That's
yeah.
right. But, an expanse, here it's not what we thought it was. From what we are understanding now, there is no outer space. There is none of that. They've been lying to us all this time. God set that expanse there. And what it says in Genesis 1
And gave them
is
luminous
what there
qualities.
is. That's right. And it's only what He says there is in Genesis 1. There's not all the other stuff, because you don't see that in the Bible. So, y'all go look at Genesis 1.
You have to kind of slow down and look at the Bible.
Yes, yes,
Shut yourself off from what you've been told and read the Bible.
right. Because the way it explains it in Genesis 1, God set an expanse. He divided the water from the earth. He created the earth and the seas. He divided it, and there's an expanse, and there's the heavens, and there's the earth. But it never says anything about space. It never says anything about other planets or even planets at all. They call Earth planet. It's not a planet. It's Earth. It's what God said it was. It's what He made it.
And it says there's pillars under the surface.
Right. There's other scriptures in the Bible that talks about its own pillars. So we're just, this is revelation knowledge to us right now, because we just found this out.
Right. My daughter told me that, and it's been a while, but I said, show me where it's at. Show me where it's at. But I guess she was working too, but she just didn't have time to sit there and show me. But I just couldn't believe that. But I was ready to believe it if I could find it in the Word and where it says it.
Now,
And I had to apologize to her because we found that out, and it's in the Bible. It really is.
and I thought I seen that it was said that, but we've been so indoctrinated with
Right.
these beliefs.
It's easy just to believe what they tell you.
That's right. It's hard to change our belief, but the Bible does say that you have to come as a little child. So to be able to believe, it's like you have to just try to
Start over.
forget what you learned. And I know you can't forget it, but you got to try to put that aside.
I can't act like I know everything. If I'm
Right.
learning something.
Right. So y'all take a look at Genesis 1. I think y'all are going to find that, you're not going to see the things that we were indoctrinated with.
We look at the Aramaic translation because that's the language that Christ spoke.
Right.
That helps us a lot. It's very picture-wise explanatory, like it gives you a picture ID almost of you looking at something. When you read it.
Right. Well, that's all we have for y'all tonight. Y'all go take a look at Genesis 1 and read it really well and go over it and over it. Meditate on the word and see what you come up with. Because all that stuff we were taught in school, we don't see any of it. And let me tell you something. Being indoctrinated like that in school, with those kind of beliefs could aid in being deceived in the end times with the
Oh,
things
yeah.
that they're fixing to
Oh,
do.
yes. Oh, yes.
Very much so.
You can't see the truth at all. Nothing
Right.
seems to be the truth of what they told you, and you don't know what's fixing to happen except
Right.
what they tell you is happening.
And they're wanting people to believe that there are other beings out there.
And there is nothing else that God created to breathe or live like the creatures we see on earth. There's nothing else.
And if there is anything, it's not of God.
It's demonic. It's fallen beings.
That's right.
That's all it can be.
So
The
y'all,
Bible doesn't say anything about any other creatures He made, and God told us all what He made. He said, and all what He made was good, and He named it all the creatures, especially, and then man,
oh,
not something else. Not aliens.
Abigail says, that's our daughter, she says, they said themselves that it isn't real and that they lied about going to the moon.
They got a lot of money from the taxpayers to do that, and they didn't even do it. My grandfather told me, "Oh, they're just in the desert filming that," and I couldn't believe that. I said, "How could they lie about that? When you're talking billions of dollars, yeah, they'll lie." And some of the men that were astronauts actually had breakdowns because of the lie, nervous breakdowns, mental problems. That tells you right there it was a lie. No man can carry around a lie like that forever. It just breaks you down.
So y'all go take a look at Genesis 1. Until next time, 2 Lamps Last Hour Bible News. God bless y'all.